Hi again, this is Adam Benson from Vrge Strategies. We're still in Las Vegas, but now we've moved on from Black Hat to DefCon. And we're here talking with JP Bourget, CEO of Syncurity. You guys are developers out in Northern Virginia. You do some amazing work, and we're going to get into that in just a moment. But I want you to tell everybody about what you did this morning, because I don't think it's what most people think about with hackers. You did kind of a cool thing this morning.
Yeah, so this year, for the sixth year in a row, I got up about 5:30 this morning, and we went out to a bike shop, and 52 of us rented bikes, and we biked about 15 miles out to Red Rock. So we did a round trip ride, and it was awesome. We've been doing this for years, and it's just an example of an event at DefCon that other than our Garmin GPSs and our Map My Rides, not really technology intensive.
So it's not just 15,000 people gathered in Las Vegas playing Pokemon Go.
Yeah. Pokemon Go.
By the way, what do you think of Pokemon Go?
It's cool that the masses are starting to get a feel for the augmented reality games. I think a lot of people in this crowd played Ingress for years when it came out. Pokemon's made by the same company. There's been things like Yelp and other things that have had that sort of augmented reality for years, and I think a lot of us, I have it on my phone, but I'm just too busy with running a company right now to really do that. But there's also we spend our whole days on computers. There's a lot more to life than Pokemon Go. So
yeah,
it's good stuff though. It's cool
I have not seen one person playing it here in the halls, either Black Hat or DefCon. So it clearly is popular.
Yeah. Well, the cell phone service isn't that great, and
That's right.
they tell you to stay off the network. So
that's part of the problem, right there. So, you were mentioning to me earlier. Oh, well, before we get into the bug bounty program at Apple, which is big news.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what is a hack.
So the way that I characterize myself as a hacker is I'm somebody that I like to get systems, be it a computer, a lock, the elevator. I like to get them to work in ways they weren't designed. And when you go to something like DefCon or a lot of these other computer security conferences, a lot of times the guys like us are mischaracterized, where we're trying to discover these misuse cases or vulnerabilities in these products that we can then go back to the vendor and ask them to help, right? And so in some cases you have these rock star hacks that sometimes don't do as much good for the industry as they could. They actually create friction between some of the non-technology product vendors, but in many cases a lot of the vendors are actually very receptive, and in some cases if you want to go to the bug bounty, they actually will reward people like us with cash in order for sharing those so they can protect their customers.
I'm glad you put that in there. I was going to ask, what is a bug bounty program? For that explainer, you did it perfectly. Now I think the big news is that Apple has joined some other tech companies in announcing a bug bounty program. What does that mean to the industry and people like yourself?
Well,
in the game?
Yeah, I think there's a trend of there's starting to be consumers' expectation that their information is secure. So like one of the reasons that commerce works on the internet is because people are able to trust the fact that they can have a secure transaction. Now, I have Apple Pay on my phone. I have a lot of personal information on here. So myself as a consumer of technology, I want to know that I can trust that everything on here is secure. And while Apple already has a really good reputation, they haven't always put that arm out saying, hey, we're going to reward somebody for releasing or sharing the vulnerability with us first. And so I think it's a huge step forward for Apple, which over the past 5 years, they've really been trying to become more transparent and work with the security community to address when a vulnerability comes up, but also share how their security technology works with the public so that they can kind of audit it and if there's problems, find them. So Facebook's done it, Google's done it. You even have companies like BugCrowd, which is an interesting concept where you can hire, you as a software company can hire a team of professional people like a la carte or as a utility model to actually purchase their services to test your product to help make it more secure.
Tell us a little bit about your company, Syncurity, and what you've been doing here.
Yeah, so Syncurity, if you were at the Black Hat or RSA, one of my observations was about 90% of the vendors there, they're selling you another alert, right? So it's another thing you put on the network, you put it on the company's computers, and it tells you, hey, there's something bad's happening. Well, we take that alert and we help facilitate the process of handling those alerts to decide, is it a false positive or is this really something bad going on in our network? And then if it is and it gets escalated, we help manage the response and containment process. So a good a good everyday analogy would be if you go into a hospital, you go in and you check into the emergency room, and if you're the guy with a knife sticking out of your heart, they're gonna send you right to the ER immediately. That's a positive alert. This is something bad's happening. We need to deal with it. But if you're a kid that needs stitches, they might throw you in the waiting room for a few minutes. So we do that with security alerts, and you know, we help speed up security teams by providing consistency and facilitating process, and then reporting on the back end of, you know, how we did, what's our surface area of attack, things like that.
Well, and I know from talking to some of the other ethical hackers here, there's a lot of admiration for your product and a lot of admiration for what you've done with it. So
Yeah,
I'm
thanks a
hoping
lot.
Good work for you here in the conference. That's it from here right now. We're going to come back with more, but you can follow us on the Verge of on Twitter and also at Vrge.us, our website. And your website is?
So on the internet, we're www.syncurity.net. So that's SYNCURITY.net, and then we're at Syncurity on Twitter. Thanks for having us.